Hello everyone, and as you can see, I am ready for day 2 of Vlogmas. We have our Diamine Inkvent calendar. See if I don't make anything disgusting. And yeah, let's find day 2. Oh, it's right over here. I am blind. Yeah, apologies for the glare. Let me just quickly turn that light off. It's a little bit darker, but at least nobody will be blinded, so there is that. For once, I have managed to get in. And we have Garland. This is a shimmer and sheen. Like I said yesterday, I don't mind the plastic bottles. I think those are practical, but I do mind this hard to remove plastic packaging. There we go. Success. Hooray, hooray. But yeah, anyway, yeah, this is Garland, and you can, I don't know if it shows up on camera, but you can see the shimmer inside a wee bit at least. Let's shake it up, because otherwise we will never ever see the shimmer. I am going to swatch this undiluted because I know from experience that if you dilute a shimmer, you will not get any shimmer. So yeah, let's get a brush first. Put it in a clean water jar. Let's go in for day 2. Ooh, this is a really nice, rich, dark green. Let's get just, if I rinse my brush, it's kind of turquoise, which is cool. Just going on the edges, so you can see the undertone a wee bit better. And yeah, I would say this is sort of teal. There's definitely some teal in there. But yeah, I don't really see a lot of shimmer or sheen right now. But from what I can see in this plastic bottle, it's come all the way to the bottom already. Yeah, that's it. You could probably not see anything I'm doing. I do apologize. But yeah, from experience, I know that the shimmer, I'm gonna just dab some on in the hopes that the shimmer will appear. Fingers crossed. But yeah, it sinks down the bottom so fast. And you constantly have to kind of like stir it up as you go whilst painting. So there's that. So yeah, I'm just gonna let this dry for the moment. And then I will be back with my illustration. And I am back. As you can see, this is now dry. If it doesn't properly show up, I will insert a picture. Because look at how multicolored this ended up drying as. When I applied it and it was still wet, it just seemed like a dark green with potentially shimmer, but now it's green and like a really rich fuchsia, magenta? Magenta, I think, in English at least. Really deep, dark magenta and some blues and teal. I'm vibing this. This is way more impressive than I had expected. Now, I had originally planned to paint something else, but yesterday on Instagram, I saw that Sandstar Art had made a, let me zoom out again so you can see what I'm talking about, had made a Christmas tree art piece. Then the tree was made out of jack-o'-lanterns, and I thought, well, that's fun. Let's do something like that as well. So yeah, this is her original image, which I will have put up somewhere. And yeah, this is another prepped piece. We'll get to that another day. But yeah, so my plan is to just go over with a slight wash and then just darken it up as it dries. So let's go and get into it. I have my trusty syringe. I have a different palette because I just want to add water as I go. So I've taken another palette. This one is a cheapo one from Tiger. I know that glass palettes are all the rage, but or porcelain ones, but I like these plasticky one from Tiger. So it's also like I want to be able to transport them to and from school without having to worry about breakage in my bag. So I prefer these. I have also loaded up a Kaweco Sport fountain pen with a extra broad nib. And the extra broad nib is probably not, well, it isn't. It is not the best nib when it comes to doing fine lines. But as this is a shimmer and a sheen ink, I believe it will be very much to my advantage to use a broader nib. Let me zoom you in a little bit more. And so this is it. Look at that shimmer. I'm not sure how well it shows, but it is very, very shimmery. But yeah, I, as you saw, dabbed in some ink to make sure there would be more shimmer. And I did it here too and on the back, so you could at least get some of the color gradient in there, because I knew it otherwise wouldn't really show if I were to just do that. I should have started with a much lighter first coat of ink and given them all separate gradients, because now they're kind of like watermelon blobby, but you know, it shows off the ink, and that was the entire point of the piece. So yeah, I have little positive to say about that. The original, like where I got the idea of Sandstar art, came out much cuter. Of course, she used different colors, and had I used many different colors of pumpkins, it would have been better, but I think I might just go and do line art next. Something I want to mention real quick, a bit of a review if you want, about Garland is that this is definitely a painting ink, in my opinion. Because the thing is, if you write with it, and you can see it with the line art, you will just get this, well, it is nice dark green, but frankly, why pay extra for a shimmer and sheen ink if you can get like a nice dark green anyway? Even if you just want shimmer, I would say that Diamine's Golden Ivy is a more reliable shimmer. And otherwise, if you want a nice dark green, the Pelican dark green, which is, if you are a Potterhead, actually like pretty movie accurate for the Hogwarts letters they use in the movie. But yeah, there are better alternatives. But for painting, especially if you like really glob it on, you can really see it in the bat. You hold it up close a little bit more. Yeah, you can, this beautiful color changing effect, and you can see it here in the bows, the ribbon as well, and especially here on the swatch. So yeah, if you want, because at some point I'm sure Diamine is gonna release these in full-size bottles. They did it with the blue edition of 2019. So, but yeah, I would not recommend this as a writing ink, especially as you would have to have an extra broad nib to really get the shimmer out and the sheen. And not a lot of brands bake super reliable extra broad nibs from what I gather, even though I will happily admit I am not an expert, because I always just buy Kaweco sports fountain pens. They're cheap. You can buy separate nibs on places like Gold Pens if necessary. Well, super cheap. They're about 18 euros. They're very reliable. You can draw with them. I haven't ruined any. But anyway, yeah, that's what I have to say about Garland. And I also nearly forgot to say, Garland was an absolute disaster to clean out both of my cartridge, like my cartridge filling, for my fountain pen and my fountain pen, as well as my syringe. I mean, seriously, I don't think I have ever had an ink that was that much of a nightmare to clean out of stuff. So yeah, please bear that in mind as well. And my conclusion for Vlogmas Day 2. I'll start with Zero, because Zero is one of my favorite characters, and he'll be easy enough to turn around because he's very good at staying put and not falling over. I mean, I love him. Look at that cute pumpkin nose. He's adorable. I feel like he lends very well to being made into a Funko as well. So there's that. As for Garland, I am still pretty on the fence. I think it's very cool. It's very versatile. You can really do a lot of things with it. Like, if you see here, this is diluted with water, and you can really bring out the teal. I got the number 2 on there by going on with a beige Posca marker, and that will reactivate the ink, and then you get that effect. But yeah, as you can see, when you dilute it with water, you really get that effect, and you get very little of the magenta, as you can see in the stars as well. But then, if you use it undiluted, you get a lot of the magenta and a lot of the blue shimmer, and quite a bit of the blue as well. If you can, it's trapped underneath the shimmer, but it's there. So, you know, again, just like with Seize the Night, depending on how much water you add, you get a very different ink. So if that's your jam, that is very interesting. That's cool beans. I would probably want to use this for a background at some point, because that's kind of cool, but I still don't know if I would buy the full size. Probably not, but yeah, it's still cool. Yeah, that was it for day 2 of Vlogmas. If you leave a comment, please be kind, and otherwise I will see you tomorrow for day 3.